adages, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. The more things change, the more they remain the same. People who have long been used to doing things in a particular way will not abandon their habits. Imagine if the profession of optometry had adopted these philosophies as you fought for expanded scope of practice. You'd still be the proverbial refractionist, referring out every ounce of medical care. Instead, the profession is constantly seeking new ground with such initiatives as dry eye, myopia control, and headache management. But as it relates to business, many optometrists still reside in the past, and the old way of looking at things is resulting in many of you coming up short. Of what am I speaking, you ask? There's a myriad of old school methods in the profession, but today I'm specifically talking about how you value your practice or an acquisition and the structure of your succession plans. Whether buyer or seller, many of you have 1970s thinking. You're stuck in the past. Allow me to share some recent real-world transactions. A client had an appraisal performed on his practice by another firm prior to our engagement. They valued the practice at $950,000. That was the number that my client was thinking that he'd secure for his retirement. Following a couple of tactical moves, we closed on a transaction valued at $2.1 million. Another client felt they'd be comfortable with $2.5 million valuation. We secured just shy of $4 million. Still another client has an associate that wants to acquire the practice. They want to pay 65% of revenue because some friend told him that that's what practices are worth. The market for this practice will likely result in a purchase price of at least 150% of revenue, and I'm afraid that it'll be with someone other than this associate who's using old thinking. I share these actual results to underscore that the marketplace for strong practices has changed dramatically. The entree of private equity-backed consolidators has driven up the value of larger practices, while actually driving down values of small or moderately profitable practices. Further, while just 5 years ago you could consummate a transaction with relative ease and simplicity, today's environment requires a great deal of analytical legwork, due diligence, and legal documentation. Doing deals today isn't for the meek. Would you have your heart valve replaced by a podiatrist? Would you want your car repaired by someone without experience? Of course not. You'd want to engage the expert. The same is true for business transactions. If you're not working in the transaction world on a daily basis, you can't possibly have the experience and expertise necessary to fully understand what's possible. What's the current state of the art? Your old thoughts about the value of your practice and your understanding of how to structure and negotiate a transaction will immediately place you at a disadvantage against any sophisticated buyer. Don't go it alone. Don't think for a minute that you have the knowledge and time to secure your very best deal. We've proven that to be false on scores of transactions. At Cleinman Performance Partners, we've now handled over 3,000 transactions among and on behalf of optometrists. We're specialists, and we practice our profession each and every day just like you. We're here to help you secure the very best opportunity possible, whether seller or buyer. So if you're within 10 years of your desired exit or thinking of expanding your practice through acquisition, give us a call. I guarantee you that at the very least you'll walk away from our no-obligation conversation with a deeper understanding of the market and all your possibilities.